Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 468, The Bookshop Encounter. Upper Beginner. Emily had always loved books. She spent most weekends wandering through the old bookshops, running her fingers over the spines of dusty novels and imagining the stories hidden inside. One Saturday afternoon, she walked into a small shop on a quiet street in London. The scent of old paper filled the air, and the wooden shelves stretched high above her. As she browsed the shelves, she reached for a book just as another hand touched it. She turned her head and saw a man smiling at her. He had dark brown hair and kind blue eyes. "Oh, sorry," Emily said, pulling her hand back. "No, please," the man said. "I think you saw it first." Emily looked at the book. It was an old edition of Pride and Prejudice. She smiled and held it out to him. "Do you like Jane Austen?" "I do," he said, taking the book and flipping through the pages. "I read this when I was younger, but I lost my copy. I didn't expect to find it here today." Emily watched as he admired the book. There was something warm about him, something familiar. "I'm Emily," she said. "James," he replied. "Nice to meet you." James put the book back on the shelf and turned to Emily. "Do you come here often?" "Yes," Emily said. "I love bookshops like this. There's something special about them." James nodded. "I agree. It's like stepping into a different world." They talked about books and favourite authors, losing track of time. After a while, James glanced at his watch. "I should go soon," he said, looking hesitant. "But I was wondering, would you like to have coffee sometime?" Emily hesitated, surprised by his question. But there was something about James that felt easy, comfortable, like meeting an old friend. "I'd love that," she said, smiling. James grinned. "Great. How about tomorrow?" Emily nodded. "Tomorrow sounds perfect." James pulled out his phone and they exchanged numbers. Before leaving, he turned back to her. "I'm really glad I came here today." Emily watched as he walked away, feeling something new and exciting in her heart. She picked up Pride and Prejudice again and smiled to herself. Maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Vocabulary notes. Wander, verb. To walk slowly and without a clear direction, often in a relaxed way. Example from the story. She spent most weekends wandering through old bookshops. Similar words. Stroll, roam, meander. Spines, noun. The part of a book that connects the front and back covers, where the title is usually printed. Example from the story. Running her fingers over the spines of dusty novels. Similar words. Binding, cover, related but not identical. Edition, noun. A particular version of a book, often different in design, content or publication date. Example from the story. It was an old edition of Pride and Prejudice. Similar words. Copy, version. Flip through. Phrasal verb. To quickly look through the pages of a book without reading in detail. Example from the story. James took the book and flipped through the pages. Similar words. Browse, skim, peruse. Hesitate, verb. To pause before doing something, often because of uncertainty or doubt. Example from the story. Emily hesitated, surprised by his question. Similar words. Pause, waver, falter. Familiar, adjective. Something or someone that feels known or comfortable, often reminding one of past experiences. Example from the story. There was something warm about him, something familiar. Similar words. Recognizable, known, comfortable. Track of time, phrase. To lose awareness of how much time has passed. Example from the story. They talked about books and favourite authors, losing track of time. Similar words: time slipped away, got carried away. Exchange, verb, to give and receive something, often information or objects. Example from the story: they exchanged numbers. Similar words: swap, share, trade. Grin, verb, to smile broadly, often showing happiness or excitement. Example from the story: James grinned. Great, how about tomorrow? Similar words: beam, smirk, smile. Chapter, noun, a section of a book, metaphorically a stage or event in life. Example from the story: maybe, just maybe, this was the new beginning of a new chapter in her life. Similar words: phase, period, stage. Story written by Bing ChatGPT AI. Image created by Bing ChatGPT AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.
Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.